You ever notice how disasters rarely come with fireworks? No theme music, no dramatic lightning. Just a doorbell ringing at 7:43 p.m. on a Tuesday. That's how it started for Adam Keller. He was still holding a red pen, fresh from grading sophomore literature essays, when he answered the door of his suburban Midwestern home. 20 years of teaching had carved a permanent groove between his eyebrows, more from eye rolls than actual age. His wife, Monica, was in the kitchen, rhythmically chopping vegetables like she was keeping time for an invisible orchestra. She didn't even pause when the bell rang. Adam opened the door expecting Amazon or maybe another campaign flyer for the upcoming school board election. Instead, he got something stranger, a tall, lanky teenager with dark hair that looked familiar in a way Adam couldn't quite place. "Can I help you?" Adam asked. The boy hesitated, eyes darting past Adam into the house. "Mr. Keller?" "Adam Keller." "That's me." The kid extended a hand. "I'm Eli Brenner. I'm your son." Adam's fingers tightened around the doorknob. His wedding ring tapped the brass like a metronome, tick, tick, tick. "Sorry, what?" The kid looked down, then back up. "Steady now. My mom's Jessica Brenner." "You knew her." "University of Michigan. Sophomore year." Adam didn't answer, but his brain was spinning the Rolodex. Jessica. Small, brunette, philosophy major. A summer fling, a lifetime ago. A memory with no future. "I was born January 8th, 2008, Eli said. "She tried to contact you. You'd already transferred schools." Behind him, Monica's voice sliced through the moment like a cold blade. "Adam? Who's at the door?" She came around the corner, drying her hands with a dish towel. Her eyes landed on Eli, then Adam, then the photo Eli held up like a courtroom exhibit. Adam and Jessica, arm in arm, both looking too young to be parents. "I just wanted to meet you," Eli added. The dish towel hit the floor. "You're what?" Monica whispered. "It might not be true," Adam said quickly. "We'll get a DNA test." Eli pulled out a paper, "Birth certificate, father. Unknown. But I have this. Mom kept it all these years." Monica's eyes narrowed. "You have a son. A grown man standing on our doorstep. And you never told me?" "I didn't know," Adam said. "I swear, Monica. I had no idea." She turned to Eli. "You need to leave." Eli looked stunned. "I didn't mean to cause any, Wait," Adam interrupted. "Are you staying nearby?" "Holiday Inn Express," Eli replied. "Room 214. Adam promised to call, and the door shut behind the kid with a finality that sounded like the first note of a funeral march. Then Monica turned to Adam and said the words that would reroute his life. "Pack a bag. You're not staying here tonight." Adam didn't cry. He didn't scream. He didn't throw a chair or beg her to understand. He just packed the overnight bag they usually used for lake trips and walked out the front door with it in hand. He didn't go straight to the Holiday Inn. He sat in the car across the street for a while, watching light blink behind curtain windows like Morse code for "you don't belong here anymore." When he finally checked in, the woman behind the desk handed him a keycard and a coupon for a sad little breakfast bar. "Room 217, she said with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. He passed by room 214 on the way to his own. Didn't knock. Didn't even pause. Eli had made his grand entrance. Now Adam had to make sense of the rubble. Inside, the room was beige and boring. 2 queen beds. 1 chair. 1 lamp. 1 man losing the grip on a life he thought was stable. His phone buzzed once. A text from Monica. "Please don't come back." That was it. 5 words. No punctuation. No emotion. Just a deadbolt on a door he used to walk through without knocking. He read it 3 times. Then he opened the drawer next to the bed and found the motel Bible, untouched. Closed it without reading a word. Even divine intervention wouldn't untangle this mess. The next morning, he met Eli for breakfast in the motel lobby. The kid was already there, pouring orange juice into a plastic cup with the caution of someone who didn't want to spill on a clean narrative. "I didn't mean to cause trouble," Eli said. "You didn't," Adam lied. They sat in silence for a minute, both chewing rubbery eggs and fake bacon, both pretending this was something normal. Like running into a neighbor. Like casual conversation at the DMV. "She always said you were kind," Eli added. "She said if you knew, you'd have shown up." Adam didn't know what to say to that. So he didn't say anything at all. Later that day, he called Monica. She didn't answer. Just let it ring. Probably watched it ring. That night, he looked up Jessica online. Her obituary was short. Cancer. Died with grace. Survived by her son. Nothing about Adam. No beloved college sweetheart. No man she once hoped would be a father. Just a clean slice between past and present. He sat in the motel bed with the TV on mute, staring at the closed door, waiting for something to make sense. But nothing did. He thought about Monica's face. The ice. The fury. The way she didn't cry. Just shut down like a machine that got unplugged. He thought about Eli's eyes, familiar and unfamiliar all at once. And he thought, for the first time, that maybe this wasn't just a one-time storm. Maybe it was the beginning of a long winter. On Thursday morning, Monica texted him again. "You left your blue shirt. The one with the tiny squares. Do you want it or not?" No hello. No small talk. Just logistical detachment, like returning library books. Adam stared at the screen and didn't reply. He didn't care about the shirt. He cared about the subtext, "You're still on the outside. And I'm still keeping score." That afternoon, he went back to the house. Not to grovel. Just to grab the rest of his clothes. Monica was in the kitchen, back turned, humming some tune like nothing was fractured. Like the week hadn't been full of landmines. The same woman who had once traced his jawline while laughing at old Seinfeld reruns now moved like she was prepping for surgery. Sterile. Sharp. "Keys are on the counter," she said without turning. "Don't forget the charger." Adam stood there for a second too long. "Monica, I didn't lie to you." She turned slowly, arms folded. "No, but you gave someone else a part of you that should have belonged to us. It was years ago. I didn't even know." "And yet," she interrupted, "he found you. 18 years later, with proof." He felt like saying, "That doesn't make me guilty," but he knew how it would land. Truth had weight, but timing carried a sledgehammer. That's when her phone buzzed. Adam wasn't the jealous type. But when a married woman starts guarding her screen like it's national security, instincts kick in. She clicked it off fast. Too fast. He didn't comment. Not then. But that night, back in the motel, he couldn't sleep. Something about Monica's calm was off. Not grief. Not betrayal. Just cold calculation. So he did what any man teetering on the edge of revelation does. He checked the phone records. Joint plan. Shared billing. Same password since 2015. And there it was. A number with way too many late-night calls. 11:47 p.m. 1:03 a.m. Lunch breaks. Saturdays. Same name popping up over and over. Zach. Zach. The guy from her gym. The one she said was just a friend who helps with kettlebell form. Kettlebell form, huh? Adam didn't go nuclear. He didn't text Monica in all caps. He didn't even confront her. Instead, he opened a new browser tab and typed in the number. It didn't take much. People are careless with their digital footprints. Zach was not just a gym buddy. He was the certified personal trainer and wellness mentor, with a social media feed full of motivational quotes, shirtless selfies, and suspiciously familiar beach photos. One of those photos was dated 3 weeks ago, the same weekend Monica claimed to be visiting her sister. Adam zoomed in. That was Monica's tote bag. Same floral print. Same broken strap he offered to fix last summer. He closed the laptop, and he laughed, not out of humor. Out of that strange, exhausted, cosmic irony that settles in when your life stops being yours and becomes a punchline. Adam Keller had always prided himself on his restraint. The kind of man who could listen to a student butcher Macbeth and still offer constructive feedback. But that night, alone in room 217, staring at a photo of his wife's beach bag beside a shirtless trainer named Zach, something inside him didn't just crack, it calibrated. It wasn't rage. Rage is messy. It's loud. Adam wasn't loud. No, what settled over him now was a calm so pure it frightened him. Like the quiet before a blizzard, when the wind hasn't arrived yet, but you can feel it watching. He didn't storm over to confront Monica. He didn't call Zach and offer to meet him man to man. Instead, he did what years of teaching high school had trained him to do. Observe, collect, and wait. Step 1 was simple. He backed up everything: phone logs, screenshots, browser history. He created a folder on a USB labeled Home Repairs and hid it inside a sock in his suitcase. Step 2, he made a new email. Alias, M.A. Keller. Nothing flashy. Just a place to route things Monica couldn't see. A digital quiet room, so to speak. By Friday, he booked a consultation with a divorce attorney. Not because he was filing. Not yet. But because knowledge, unlike trust, doesn't break when you drop it. The woman's name was Rachel Curran. No nonsense. Her profile photo had that look you see in someone who has never once let a passive-aggressive comment slide. Adam liked her immediately. "I'm not looking for revenge," he said on the phone. "Good," she replied. "Because revenge is expensive. But control? Control is affordable." They talked for an hour. Custody wasn't an issue. They had no kids. Property? Well, the house was joint. The savings account leaned his way. The pension, though, that was complicated. As they wrapped up, Rachel said, "Do you have proof she's been unfaithful?" Adam hesitated. "I do." Her voice didn't waver. "Keep collecting. Keep your cool. Don't confront her. Just build. Build." Adam wasn't a builder by trade, but he knew structure. He knew how to support weight without tipping over. And now, he was preparing to hold up the truth with both hands, steady and merciless. On Saturday, Monica texted him again. "Are you coming to get the rest of your books?" Adam replied with a thumbs-up emoji. No words. No punctuation. Just ambiguity. Let her stew in it. When he arrived at the house, Monica was dressed like she'd been expecting company. Casual in that carefully careless way, makeup light, hair tied back just enough to seem relaxed. The living room looked different, cleaner, like someone had been over, like something had been erased. She didn't mention Zach, didn't mention Eli. Instead, she pointed to a box labeled "Office" sitting neatly by the door. "I packed the rest of your things." "Efficient," he said, not looking at her. "Efficient is how I cope." He picked up the box. It was heavier than expected. Her eyes were on him, studying, trying to guess if he knew. "Adam," she said, her voice suddenly softer. "This doesn't have to end ugly." He turned slowly. Not angry, not desperate. Just done. "It already did," he replied. She looked down, not ashamed, just calculating, like a CEO reviewing a quarterly loss. He walked out without another word. Back in the motel, he opened the box. On top was a notebook. Not his. Hers. Adam had seen it before, Monica's little reflection journal. The one she kept by her nightstand for mental clarity. He'd never looked inside. He respected privacy. But privacy, like marriage, was a two-way contract. So he opened it. The first few pages were harmless. Grocery lists. Notes from a podcast. A quote she liked. "When you can't heal in a place, you leave." Then, farther in, he found an entry dated 3 months ago. "Zach says I deserve spontaneity. Not just dinner at 6 and shows we've already watched. He says I laugh differently when I'm not with Adam. I think he's right." Adam closed the book. Not because it hurt, but because it was familiar. Eli had said almost the same thing about Jessica, that she remembered Adam as kind, that she spoke of him like a memory, not a person. It wasn't just betrayal anymore. It was pattern. Adam Keller had become a man women filed under, reliable but forgettable. And that, he decided, was his fault. Because somewhere along the line, he had stopped watching for the tide. And now it had taken everything. On Sunday, Eli texted him. "Can we talk?" Just us. They met at a diner 2 blocks from the motel. Eli ordered pancakes. Adam got coffee. "I know it's been a lot," Eli said, stirring syrup like it might unlock something profound. Adam nodded. "But I'm not here to make things harder. I'm just trying to find out who I am. That's all." Adam watched the kid. His posture. His tone. His resemblance. "You ever resent your mom?" Adam asked, surprising himself. Eli shrugged. "No. She did what she had to. But yeah. I wish I'd known you sooner." There it was. A statement that hurt and healed at the same time. After breakfast, Adam handed him a small envelope. "What's this?" "DNA kit. Just to be sure." Eli took it with a nod. "I'll do it today." As they stood in the parking lot, Adam looked at the boy and said, "Whatever happens next, I'm not walking away. But I need you to know something." Eli waited. Sometimes the people who walk out of your life are doing you a favor. And sometimes you just have to walk first. Back at the motel, Adam opened his laptop. He had 3 emails from Rachel. One had the subject line, "Thoughts on leverage?" He smiled. It was time to start the next phase. Not revenge. Just architecture. Because if Monica wanted out, he'd give her the exit. But he designed the door. By Monday morning, Adam Keller wasn't heartbroken anymore. He was drafting. Not a letter. Not a manifesto. A structure. Because when your house burns down, you don't rebuild with emotion. You draw blueprints. And Adam was getting pretty damn good at drawing in the margins of his broken marriage. The motel was growing stale. Beige walls. Muffled laughs from adjacent rooms. That humming buzz of a mini-fridge trying too hard. So he packed up, tossed his last clean shirt over a suitcase he hadn't unpacked in a week, and booked a short-term rental a few towns over under the alias A.K. Mason. Quiet cul-de-sac. Private garage. No questions. A man needs room to think. And Adam had a lot to think about. He spent Monday making calls, his bank, his union rep, and a real estate agent Monica didn't know. They bought the house together, but Adam had paid for most of it. His pension was structured in a way that, if he played it right, could stay largely intact. It wouldn't be clean, but it could be surgical. Rachel, his lawyer, emailed him a game plan. If you want to file first, I'll need full documentation of assets, infidelity, and timeline. That last word hit harder than it should have, timeline. Because Adam had spent 20 years thinking the timeline of his marriage was a straight road. Turns out, there were exits Monica had taken long before she'd told him to pack a bag. So he mapped the detours, started a spreadsheet, labeled it the quiet undoing. Monica's work trips, Zach's gym locations, phone records, hotel bookings, even one weird overlap, an invoice for a beachfront couples retreat from 8 months ago. She said it was a conference, but the receipt said shared deluxe suite. Column after column, he cataloged the evidence. It didn't make him feel better. It made him feel accurate. And accuracy was what he needed now. On Tuesday, Monica called. He let it go to voicemail. Hey, so, I think we need to talk. Not about the past. Just logistics. Call me back. He didn't. Instead, he called the mutual friend who had introduced them. Naomi. They hadn't spoken in years. Adam, she said, surprised. Yeah, sorry for the out of nowhere. Just had a question. They made small talk for 30 seconds before Adam got to it. Did Monica ever mention Zach to you? There was a pause. Then, too quickly, why? That's enough of an answer. Adam, Naomi hesitated, then sighed. She said he was helping her through a rough emotional season. I didn't know what that meant, but she seemed happier. I didn't ask questions. Because you didn't want the answers, Adam replied. Silence. Are you okay? I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm looking for foundation. He hung up soon after. Not rudely, just with purpose. Because he didn't need people to pity him. He needed to build. That night, he met Eli again. DNA test done. Results pending. Eli was nervous. Fidgeted with his drink. Spoke in half-thoughts. You don't have to do anything for me, you know? Even if I'm yours. Adam looked at the kid. Really looked. You think I'm helping you out of guilt? Maybe, Eli admitted. Or obligation. Adam leaned forward. Eli, if that test comes back positive, you're my son. That doesn't make me your hero. But it makes me responsible. Eli nodded. And if it comes back negative? Adam shrugged. Then I helped someone who reminded me of a person I once loved. That's not a loss. Eli exhaled. You don't talk like other adults. That's because most adults talk before they think. They parted with a handshake that meant more than either of them knew how to admit. Wednesday morning, Adam drove by the house. Not to spy. To remember. The tree they planted when they moved in had grown lopsided. He used to joke it leaned left because Monica watered only one side. The garage still had that paint chip near the bottom right corner, from the time he tried to install shelves and dropped the power drill. He noticed things. Always had. Just hadn't realized he was the only one still looking. As he pulled away, he saw Zach's car in the driveway. Not parked casually. Parked like it belonged. Adam didn't feel rage. He felt relief. Because the longer Zach lingered, the easier it would be to prove everything in court. Rachel would love that. Judges tend to notice patterns. Especially when they leave tire marks. By Friday, Adam had a plan. Not revenge. Not drama. Just boundaries with legal weight. He filed. Didn't text Monica. Didn't send flowers. Didn't beg her to explain herself or apologize. He let Rachel do the talking. When Monica got the papers, she responded with exactly what he expected, a call he didn't answer. Then a text. Well, so you're just done now? After everything? Adam stared at it for a long time. Then typed. I'm not done. I'm focused. There's a difference. No response. He didn't need one. Because that was the week Adam Keller stopped being the dependable man women forgot how to appreciate. The silence after Monica received the divorce papers didn't last long. 3 hours and 22 minutes, to be exact. That's when Adam's phone lit up with a voicemail notification. He played it once, then twice, not because he didn't hear it clearly, but because part of him still couldn't believe she had the audacity to sound wounded. Adam, this isn't the way. We're not those people who handle things like this. We talk. We figure it out. You blindsided me. Blindsided. A fascinating word choice from someone who'd spent months perfecting emotional concealment like it was an Olympic sport. He deleted the message without saving it. Later that night, another voicemail came in. This one softer. A plea dressed in faux empathy. I didn't mean for things to fall apart like this. I got lost. We both did. Adam didn't reply to that one either. Because here's the thing. When someone uses we to explain something they did, they're not apologizing. They're sharing the blame in advance. He spent the rest of the night reviewing Rachel's legal packet. The phrase irreconcilable differences stood out on the page like a lighthouse on a rocky shore. And honestly, it felt merciful compared to the truth. On Saturday morning, he started moving money. Not in a suspicious, offshore account kind of way. Adam didn't need to hide what he earned. He just needed to protect it. So he closed the joint savings account and transferred his share to a new one under his name. Left the rest. Left enough that she couldn't play the victim card in court. He made sure the trail was clean, documented, and fully legal. Rachel's advice rang in his ears. Don't strike to hurt. Strike to end. Meanwhile, Monica tried texting him again. We need to talk about the house. Then a follow-up, 5 minutes later. You're being cold. He stared at the screen and, for a second, wondered how someone could accuse him of being cold after they brought a stranger into their marriage like it was a rental car. But again, no reply. Because Adam had learned something important in the last few weeks. Sometimes, the most painful answer is no answer at all. That afternoon, he went to see Eli. The DNA test had come back. Adam didn't need a printout. He could tell by the look on the kid's face. It's positive, Eli said, trying to sound casual but blinking too fast. You're my dad. Adam didn't speak right away. Just sat with the weight of it. Not fear. Not regret. Just gravity. I figured, he said finally. You've got your mom's stare. But my stubbornness. Eli laughed, nervous. Is that a good combo? We'll find out. They went to lunch. No heavy talks. Just burgers and milkshakes and a few awkward but honest questions about favorite movies and worst teachers. And when they parted, Adam said something he hadn't planned. You're not a mistake, Eli. You never were. The kid looked like he'd been holding his breath for years. Neither were you. Back at the rental, Adam cleared a wall and tacked up a timeline of Monica's emotional exit. Not as some revenge fantasy board, but as evidence. A map of deceit, travel dates, gym invoices, late-night phone calls, all cross-referenced with receipts and her own social media footprint. Rachel would have a field day. But what made Adam pause was how meticulous it all was. Not his documentation, Monica's choreography. She hadn't just drifted. She'd planned. Made sure the emotional fallout landed only on his side of the fence. Which meant, at some point, she had stopped seeing him as a partner and started seeing him as an obstacle. That's not an accident. That's intent. Sunday morning brought an email. Subject, can we just meet? No greeting. No sign-off. Just the text. Face-to-face. 1 hour. The cafe on 3rd. No lawyers. Please. Adam stared at it. Then marked it unread. Then got dressed and went anyway. She was already there, hair tied back, sunglasses on the table like armor. She looked good. Not radiant. Not glowing. Just aware of herself, the way people do when they're trying to regain control. Thanks for coming, she said. He nodded. Didn't sit. Adam, she continued, this doesn't have to get ugly. Then you shouldn't have made it ugly. I made a mistake. No, he interrupted, his voice steady. You made a series of decisions. With full awareness. Don't downgrade that to a mistake just because the consequences are finally catching up. She opened her mouth, closed it, then said, he's not a bad guy. Adam almost laughed. Is that your pitch? You cheated, but at least he's polite. I didn't plan this. He tilted his head. You planned it well enough to hide it for months. Silence. He took a breath. Not angry. Just finished. I filed because I needed this to end before I stopped recognizing myself. Before I became the man who begs for honesty from someone who already left the conversation. I didn't leave. You did. You just forgot to pack your things. She looked like she might cry. But Adam knew her well enough to know it was hesitation, not heartbreak. So he walked out. Didn't look back. Didn't text later to apologize. Didn't wonder if she'd follow. Because when you start building an exit strategy, you don't leave breadcrumbs behind. You burn the trail. 3 days passed after the cafe meeting, and Adam heard nothing. Not a text. Not a voicemail. Just quiet. Which, ironically, was louder than anything Monica could have said. Adam didn't wonder what she was thinking. He knew. She was waiting. For him to flinch. To panic. To backpedal. That was her rhythm. Conflict, silence, control. It had worked before, on friends, family, him. But she'd forgotten something critical. Adam had stopped dancing. He was done rehearsing a script he didn't write. By Thursday, the legal wheels were grinding forward. Rachel sent over Monica's official response. It was petty, expected. Request for furniture, half the savings, a vague attempt to label the marriage mutually dissolving with no mention of Zach. Rachel called it soft leverage. She's trying to frame this as a clean break, Rachel said. If we let that narrative stand, the court sees two people simply drifting apart. No fault. No blame. Equal division. Adam exhaled slowly. So we show the fracture line. Exactly. You've got the receipts. Let's use them. He nodded. Send the first set. Let her see we're not bluffing. They included only the gym records and call logs, enough to rattle, not destroy. Proof of timing. Proof of secrecy. Just the opening chord of the symphony Monica had composed behind his back. 2 hours after delivery, Monica called. He answered this time. What is this? She snapped. No greeting. No pleasantries. Straight to panic. Truth, Adam said. You're trying to humiliate me. No. I'm showing the court what happened. Big difference. She went quiet for a moment, then shifted tactics. We don't need to fight. We can keep this civil. Then stop rewriting the story. Another beat of silence. Then, softer, you're really going through with this. I was already gone. Now it's just paperwork. Monica didn't hang up immediately. She lingered on the line, waiting for something. A crack. A hint of doubt. A single word that would let her believe he still needed her permission to move forward. But all she got was silence. And then the click. That weekend, Adam went back to the house for the final time. It wasn't a scene. No confrontation. No yelling in the driveway. Monica wasn't even there. Probably clearing her head somewhere Zach adjacent. Adam let himself in with his key, still worked, and moved methodically through the rooms. He took only what belonged to him. Books. His mother's dishes. His winter coat from the hall closet that Monica always said was too Midwest professor. In the bedroom, he paused. The bed was neatly made. Too neatly. On the nightstand, a candle still sat unlit. Sandalwood and smoke, the one he bought her 2 Christmases ago. She used to say it smelled like him. Apparently not enough to stay. He didn't linger. He didn't open drawers. He didn't search for closure in the fibers of a bed that had already held too many ghosts. As he left, he spotted a framed photo on the entryway table. Their wedding. Smiling. Young. Pre-damage. He didn't take it. He didn't need it. He already knew how the story ended. Back at the rental, Adam did something uncharacteristic. He celebrated. Just him, a bottle of red, and the soft jazz playlist he used to turn off because Monica said it made her feel like they were in a dentist's office. He liked it. He poured a glass, sat on the back porch, and watched the sun go down behind a fence that didn't remind him of anything. No anniversary memories. No holiday tension. No conversations that aged like milk. Just sky and wind and the gentle rustle of leaves. Freedom didn't roar. It whispered. And Adam had never heard it this clearly. Sunday brought an email from Eli. Subject, dinner. Adam smiled. They met at a burger joint, low-key, no expectations. Eli had shaved. Looked older already. Or maybe just more grounded. Yes, what? He said over fries. I got into Purdue. Adam blinked. Wow, that's huge. I'm still thinking, Eli said. I don't know if I want to go that far yet. But it felt good. To have an option. Options matter, Adam said. Especially when you've lived without them for a long time. They talked about majors, dorms, scholarships. It was strange, this sudden, simple hope after weeks of unraveling chaos. As they parted, Eli said, You know, when my mom was sick, she used to say you were her one good decision. Adam didn't respond right away. He just nodded. That's why she wanted me to find you, Eli added. So I'd remember where I came from. Adam clapped him on the shoulder. And now you know. And now I know. That night, Monica texted him one last time. Zach and I are moving in together. Thought you should hear it from me. No venom. No apology. Just announcement, like a press release. Adam stared at it. Then deleted the thread. Then the contact. Then every voicemail she ever left. Monica didn't message again after the Zach update. It wasn't for lack of trying. Adam just made sure she couldn't. New phone number. New email. New apartment lease. Everything clean. Everything separate. He even switched bank branches. It wasn't about hiding. It was about shedding. Every file, every login, every mundane link to a life that had long since expired was erased with surgical precision. Rachel's final update came on a Tuesday. Divorce papers finalized. Settlement approved. Monica got the car, half the furniture, and just enough dignity to still tell her friends it ended maturely. Adam got everything else. The pension, the house proceeds, the legal win, and most of all, himself. He didn't throw a party. He didn't buy a Harley or pierce anything. He just went to a quiet park that afternoon, sat on a bench, and finally, exhaled like the air had been held hostage in his chest for years. The thing no one tells you about getting your life back? It doesn't come with applause. It comes with stillness. And sometimes, stillness is better than fireworks. Eli stopped by a week later with 2 coffees and 1 question. You ever think about teaching again? Adam blinked. I didn't stop. I mean, yeah, but Eli looked around Adam's apartment, the way you look at a man who's finally put his own pictures on the wall. You ever think about doing it your way? That stuck. Your way. It had been so long since Adam lived anything his way, the words felt foreign. Luxurious, even. He took a sabbatical from school. Not out of burnout. Out of clarity. He needed to rebuild not just a life, but how he lived it. He started small. Taught part-time at a community center. Literature and logic for adult learners. Nothing fancy. No grade books. But there was joy in it. In watching people choose to be there. In seeing eyes light up over Shakespeare, and not because it was on the test. He wrote again too. Old essays. Unfinished fiction. Pieces he hadn't touched since Monica called his writing a cute little hobby. Turns out, cute little hobbies thrive once you stop watering other people's gardens. Monica sent one final message. Through Rachel. No contact clause violated. An email was forwarded, subject line simple. I'm sorry. The body of the message was short. No accusations. No excuses. Just a handful of lines about regret and timing and something about how Zach wasn't what she thought. Adam read it once, then archived it. Not because it hurt, but because it didn't. And that's when he knew he'd won. Not in court, not in assets, but in silence, in peace, in living without a voice in the back of his head saying, stay quiet to keep the peace. There was no more pretending. No more folding himself into someone else's idea of a husband, a man, a placeholder. He wasn't holding anyone's place anymore. He was taking up his own. 1 year later, Adam sat on a bench outside Purdue. Eli was graduating early. Adam wasn't wearing a suit. Just a nice jacket and the same watch Monica once said looked too plain. He liked that watch. Eli found him in the crowd and said, still got that teacher look. Adam grinned. Still got that sun face. They laughed. A real, gut-level laugh that didn't feel like armor or apology. Eli clapped him on the back. You good? He asked. Adam looked up at the sky, clear, bright, no forecasted storms. I'm finally not waiting for the other shoe to drop, he said. Turns out, it was never mine to wear.